Welcome to the Subspace Exploration Project, a personal journey into kink, non-monogamy, mental and emotional health, gender expression, and building community.
Yeah, that word space is so powerful, but sometimes gets given almost this lip service, especially for tops, dominants, and owners, etc. Like it gets given this oh, well, no, it's for subs. Subs go into this. And I'm like, well, but what about those moments when I, as a top or a daddy or a handler, have the world melt away and all there is my partner's eyes as they hand that trust to me, and I trust myself to be that vessel that can hold them and me safely, and nothing else matters.
But what I find is I spent quite a few years learning how far it was okay to let myself be pushed. And, I started out pretty conservative on that. When something got difficult, I would safe word and ask for some talk and a breather. And then later on, I got better at hanging tough as it got harder. And what I discovered eventually is that if you hang in there to the point just past where it feels tolerable, that's where you take off. That's where you fly. And it's not a good idea to try to do that if you're new, because you don't know, you haven't learned to tell the difference between good pain and bad pain. It's important to know that your power stays in you even when you're letting yourself be pushed very hard. And the way you learn that is by learning how to safe word out or otherwise bow out if things are starting to feel too challenging.
It's almost like in kink and non-monogamy, the stakes are higher.
Yeah.
Because of what we're playing with, whether it's the emotions of multiple partners or the actual physical emotional safety of someone in a scene, right? Or as a play partner, their well-being. And so we have to negotiate more and communicate more. The stakes of being codependent and being out of touch with self or trying to appease someone else are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think it's like that codependency becomes dangerous in a way that it maybe cannot be as dangerous maybe in a, vanilla or monogamous context.
Fox said, I want to continue, but I think I have more to learn. Can we expand this program? And I said, sure. Yeah, let's keep going. And I think that was in part because we did not fully grasp yet how quickly our emotions and how deeply they were developed. Sustained the training period helped us slow down. Mm-hmm. Because, it's exciting. But if you go too fast, you can make errors. It can be a setup for having your heart broken. And after the end of that second period is when we signed the owner-slave contract. And we did that in part because we were no longer existing outside of a DS dynamic. And we, had a training collar that went on. That was supposed to be when things started. It came off. That was supposed to be when we were just Fox and Tammy Joe. And that just wasn't happening. And it wasn't because either of us were like, nah, I don't want to give it up. It just felt appropriate for us to interact that way. And Fox calls that natural. It was just natural for us to do that. We don't see eye to eye on this, but I would point out that we
could see that
to the structure, right? So as natural as it felt, we already set up that structure. It just turns out the structure we created was what really worked well for us.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Subspace Exploration Project.
Every episode, you can join us for a plunge into kink, non-monogamy, sex education,
deconstructing the gender binary, queer culture, and building healthy communities. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Acast, and RSS feed.